Hi, welcome to the Sony booth here at CES 2011. My name is LD Nordier and I'm with the Digital Imaging Group, and what I have in my hand here is a really innovative product. Now, we've already launched this product and it's doing phenomenally well in the market. This is the NEX-5. We also have an NEX-3, and what makes this product really unique is the world's smallest interchangeable lens camera with a full APS-C size sensor. So really what makes this camera really unique is that this sensor is the same size that you're going to get on most DSLRs in the market. And with having this tiny little body with this interchangeable lens means it becomes really portable. So what I have on this one right now is an 18 to 55, but I could always switch to a prime lens. This is the 16 f2.8 lens, and this is, easily fit into my jacket pocket, and I can take it out. And what really makes this camera is really nice to use because it doesn't have a whole lot of buttons that become a little bit intimidating when you pick up a DSLR, for instance. A lot of people know they want the DSLR quality, but what they don't get is all the buttons and knobs, and they don't really want to be faced with all of that. So this camera gives you a really simple operation, easy to turn on. I have a nice tilting LCD, and this allows me to shoot high angles or even shoot really low angles without having to lie down on the ground to get that. It has these soft keys here which are programmable, and I can easily go into a menu system. I can change my depth of field or my aperture, for instance, and in this auto mode it doesn't, we don't make it hard. It basically says defocus or in focus, and basically that allows you to say you want to shoot a portraiture, you want the person to be in focus, and you want your background to be soft and defocused like a professional DSLR. That's exactly what this camera can do. It also shoots full HD 1920 by 1080 video, and it'll shoot it either in the ABC HD codec or in the MPEG-4 codec. The beauty about the video on this camera versus a traditional SLR, some of them that you find out in the market, is that this will do continuous autofocus while you're shooting video. There's a couple of really unique features on this camera. Because it can shoot very fast, it can shoot up to 7 frames a second. So those are really critical for capturing those moments that could be fleeting. You could get that perfect smile, take a number of shots, or you could be shooting some sport. Being able to capture multiple frames per second also allows us to do some really unique things with this camera. We can shoot things like sweep panorama, which I put it into sweep panorama mode, and actually I'll do that for you in a second. So I go into my menu system, whoops. I scroll through to sweep panorama, and in fact I'm going to put this into 3D sweep panorama. I can shoot 3D images with this as well. And here it's simple as point, and as I sweep the camera, it'll stitch all these images together to come out with a 25 megabyte sweep panorama image. It'll call, and if I'm shooting in 3D mode, I get the JPEG plus I get the MPO file, which you can view on a 3D TV. HDR is something that a lot of photographers know how to do, but typically it takes a lot of software to do that. With this particular camera, it'll take multiple shots at different exposures so that I can get a high, a mid, and a low exposure, and it'll combine those into one beautiful image. So instead of getting the highlights with the shadows being too dark, or getting the shadow detail but the highlights being blown out, now you can actually capture both with this camera, as it takes 3 consecutive shots and automatically combines it in the camera. Low light performance on this camera is phenomenal. It does 6 image layering, so you don't even need a flash. Now the camera does come supplied with a external flash that can be removed, but most people land up not even using the flash because of the low light performance. The large sensor, the large aperture and the interchangeable lenses allow you to do very low light shooting. It has a very high ISO capability with very low noise, but in case you get into a really dark situation, you can go into anti-motion blur or handheld twilight modes that allows the camera to take 6 consecutive shots and combine them into one image, capturing most of your dark detail without any noise. So one of the other cool things about the interchangeable lens camera, we can actually switch this out and add on, this is the LAEA1. This is a lens adapter which allows us to honestly get really crazy. I can put on A-mount lenses onto this camera. Now this is a 70 to 400 lens, which is typically made for our DSLR line, but I can actually shoot with this lens on this tiny little camera if I want to. There's also a number of third-party lens adapters that are available currently, and those allow you to use some older lenses. You know, perhaps you have some old lenses from some film cameras. You can typically find an adapter that can fit onto that. They're not made by Sony, but there's third parties that actually, there were multiple third parties that manufacture lens adapters for just about every type of lens that's out there.
Great.
All right.